Frank Lee, homie.
I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's true, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Only helping you grow. Tell you things that you need to hear, not only things you wanna know. Keeping you up on your current events, I swear the world's so cold. Talking about marriage and sports too. Man, you gotta catch the show. You better believe me. Got Allen T. Weezy, Jay Martin at JT, make it look easy. Whenever they speaking about any topic, if I spoke about it, I was really about it. Ain't no front, I was real about it. In my white cup, it got hint inside it. It's a message for everybody. Now I'm only sipping it slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow. Take a sip, I bet it get you right. And I only speak it if it's real, yeah. Only spill it if it's true, yeah. Everybody want the tea, so you already know the deal. I always sip slow. Come with me on a ride. I'm only sipping it slow.
Welcome to the Sip Slow Podcast. It's your boy, Mr. Money Don't Sleep, Weezy Can't Rest.
What's happening, fellas? What's happening? This is the boy J-Dub, man. Just saying what's up Sunday morning.
It's all love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Al, we all back, man. New show, new day.
Yes,
For
sir.
sure, man. For sure, man. What y'all boys sipping on today?
Man, today I got a little H2O this morning. I pulled up a little bit last night and say let me take it easy this morning. So I'm just going with the clear, but without the punch.
I got you.
Man, that's crazy, Dub. Shit, I guess great minds think alike, man. I'm on that H2O, man. You know, straight purified, clean water, man. Straight from the source, man. So, yeah, I had enough of that alcohol this week, so we're going to slow down right now.
Well, I'm sipping on some cranberry juice, man. And so I guess we all clear-minded this morning, huh?
Flush
Yes,
out
sir.
them kidneys, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. How was y'all week?
My week been pretty good, man. It went by fast. Ain't realized how much preparation is taken leading up to this graduation activity. So it's been a good week. Now just getting ready for this final stretch.
Okay.
My week was pretty
LG?
solid. It wasn't as busy. It was cool. It went by kind of fast, you know. We're just trying to stay dry with all this rain. You know, I don't ever look at the weather, so yeah, was kind of shocked that we got that much rain, but that's about it.
Yeah, whoever playing with the weather machine, boy, they wildin', man. It's rain, and it's hot. It's cool front comes, and they release the mosquitoes. So whoever playing with it, they tripping. But man, I had a pretty good week, man. Shoot, yesterday, me and the wife rode. She wanted to go try a hookah, so I was like, well, let's go to Pride Park then. Man, we got over there, I found you, and man, it was wild back to back. So we kept it moving, man, and ended up going to Papacito and ate. Then we ended up at a little hookah spot off of Highway 6. So other than that, man, we came on and just relaxed. So I got up this morning, washed my whip, finished cutting the yard, and now I'm here. So ready to pod.
Well,
Hey,
you had
what
So
spot you
man,
go to, T? On 6?
some little spot called Puffy's, man. That's it was like by that Frankenstein.
Okay, that's why I thought you was at Frankenstein. Okay, that's why I was there a couple of times this week. But no, I ain't never been to the Puffy's thing.
Nah,
I ain't
man,
never
that
heard
shit
of it.
was it was kind of hood. Bring your BYOB, and so she got to do a hookah. Y'all ever fuck with the hookah?
Yeah, all the time, man.
See,
It's cool.
I'm not much of a smoker, but I know a couple of cats that do it. So, offline, you want some nice spots to take your wife for some hookah, I can tell you some spots.
Okay, that wasn't really my thing either. I hit it a few times, but I thought they would have had some alcohol, but no, it was BYOB. So, oh man, so I couldn't do nothing. So I was in that thing just for support.
Man, them
So,
hookah spots be popular,
but it was
man.
all good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
they
started
popular.
to. We left there about 10 something, and it was trying to, get a little people in there. So that was my first time going to a hookah lounge. So we'll
Oh,
try
okay.
something again or something a little better. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So
You gotta check out them cigar lounges.
see, I ain't no
Pretty nice spot.
smoker. You know, I ain't no smoker like that. But
Got you.
I,
Got you.
yeah, man. So I'm gonna hit them with the free game today, man. It's
Mm.
just cherish every moment. Cherish every moment. Time go by so fast. Life go by fast. So make the most of everything and cherish the good and the bad. So cherish every moment. That's free game for today. Um,
That speaks
y-
volume, man.
yes, sir, man. You are listening to the Sip Slow podcast, and we're gonna hop on this first segment, man. What's on your mind? I'm gonna bring something to the table. It seemed like back in when I was growing up, people didn't want to be associated with being on food stamps. But now it seems like it's accepted and it's an honor, so to speak. Y'all feel y'all noticed that change or
I look at it as like, man, it's hard. I mean, everybody has different income sources and different things that happen in life that cause certain situations. Um, I see why some people have it and looked at it as like an embarrassment, but at the same time, you gotta, look at that bigger picture. If I'm taking care of my family, I'm just taking care of my family. Now, I think what's changed that I've seen is that it looks like it's more people starting to take advantage of it, and they're using it as like a hustle. And with the amount of money that they get for like, you can get a family three or so, you get like almost $800, I think, at one point in time a month for food, and shoot, then they end up balling. I don't see people start businesses selling barbecue and stuff off of it. So it, I mean, it is what it is. But the embarrassment, I wouldn't look at it as an embarrassment if your family is the main focus, or what you're supposed to be doing with it is the main focus.
Nah, I can't say that I see. I mean, I know back in the day it was embarrassment, but I want to know what exactly do you mean by how it is now? Like it's an honor. Like
oh
I don't know that
man,
side.
man, it's people on Facebook, bragging when they get their stamps and they done got some extra on the stamp card, and it's like, well, it seems like people just content with that. Which I'm saying, if you need some help, it's nothing wrong. Make sure that's clear. But it's not like, to me, people just satisfied with that and uh and kind of glorified at times.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But
I didn't
I
know
know
that.
Al. Yeah, well, you ain't on the Facebook and stuff like that, but yeah, it gets wild. Then you got people want to buy them, so it gets wild out there, man.
Hey, so let me get this
Especially
right.
this week because
They putting that on Facebook where they trying to buy it and all that too?
yeah, man. This week, I guess they gave some extra on the stamps this week. Extra money. So, oh man, you had all kind of people on there. Hey, y'all got some stamps? Let me know. I want to buy some.
Now it's turned into a true hustle, man. Believe it or not, especially since a lot of stuff has increased from what it was back in the day. I mean, like I said, I know somebody right now who used to sell them. They'll sell, $100 worth for $75 or something. 150. I mean, $150 worth for
Right.
$75. And then now it increased, and like I said, this person, they just started their full-fledged business, and they doing well. They buy pretty much all profit, 'cause the meat, briskets, ribs, all kind of stuff. It's happening, and I ain't mad at them.
Hey, but on the cool,
Now,
is that illegal though? Like to sell it?
Of course, it's illegal, but
I mean,
I
so y'all
mean
say
they
it's on
can't stop it.
Facebook and cats like saying, "Yo, I want to buy it." They got their information right there. Ain't they kind of dry snitching on themselves?
Well, I think
now,
that's what T was
now,
talking about. Oh,
what it be is like people just solicit. Uh, they trying to find somebody. Hey, if y'all got some stamps for sale, hit me up. And that's how they put it out there like that. You know what I mean? But people are selling stamps. People been selling stamps for years. And the thing that I be looking at is like, if obviously you need stamps for a reason, and if you have children, I would think the first priority is to make sure you have food in the house for your family to eat, not so that you can go sell stamps and get high.
yeah, it's something that's
Yeah.
it gets abused more than it does for what it's there for. So, uh, food stamps is a hustle, man.
You there, T? Can you hear me?
Maybe his mic came out.
Yeah,
You
I
there,
think.
Al?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think it's mic on mute.
Yeah, it may have come out.
Well, moving on, man. Something that was on my mind. You got to be careful, man. Who's in your circle, man? You got to be careful the people you hang around with, man. So
Yeah.
here's the deal on me, man. So I'm really close to my son. Like my son just turned 8 months on Saturday, right?
Hmm.
So that's my little man. And when I'm with him, man, I don't know how every other father is. This is a first time father, young father, so it's new to me. So when I get home, my ringer goes off. I don't want no interruptions, no distractions.
Yeah.
So when I'm in there with him, because he may fall asleep or whatever, we just
You spend
kind
that
of have
time.
our little time, right? But some cats, man, I guess they don't feel that. So long story short, kind of bothered me a little bit. One of my buddies I used to be cool with right before I got married, and when I was single doing my thing, whatever. I guess he forget, I'm married now with a son, so he hits me up, calling me. Well, obviously I had my ring off, so I didn't check it till, hour later, I don't know, something like that. And he was a little bit in his feelings a little bit, And my thing was this, you married with 4 children, you should understand more than anybody. What you got to say on that, Doug?
Man, that again, everything is about family first. And so, one of the things you have to do is give that of yourself at that time to them, man. It's what's deserved. They're your responsibility. They're your loved ones. And so if he has a problem with you spending time with your son and family, and he's still out there trying to do whatever he doing, he wrong. He wrong. He know what you do. He know when you come home, and the question is, why can't he understand it? So I wouldn't go for that either. And if he kind of in his feelings, like he need to check himself, because I mean, one, I just got home from work, so whatever I want to do, and if I feel like turning my phone off and not being, I'm gonna do that.
So you saying that your a partner didn't want you to come out and still hang out, right? Basically, right?
Well, see, the thing is, some dudes are kind of like in their feelings about everything. They want everything to be their way, He one of them cats, I guess, when he called, he wants you to answer. I mean, everybody want to be answered, but some things you got more important things that's pressing in life, so you just got to wait. Now, some people big on if you call, that's another thing he was upset about. He called me and I texted him back. And I was like, yo, I'm putting my son to sleep. So what's good? He was like, well, man, by all these years, you should know me. When I call, I expect the call back. So he kind of got in his feelings, but man, I kind of let him make it, because sometimes text message can be misconstrued and misunderstood, and it probably wasn't nothing. But I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts on, keeping certain people in your circle when you have a different change of life. When you get married, it's a different stage of life now, but we're talking about a man that's married with 4 kids. So I would think he's more understanding, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know how he really moving.
Yeah. It sounds like he kind of selfish, man. That understand your situation, and that uh you just can't do certain things like that. You got a family and different responsibilities, but it sounds like he just worried about himself and how he feeling.
Yeah, I sometimes will get a call from somebody, and if I don't answer it or I can't answer it, that's usually the first thing I'll do is I'll send a text back like, "Hey, I'll give you a call back in a little bit. Is everything okay?" So that'll open it up, because if everything's okay, you say, "No, we cool." I ain't worried about when I call you back. I'll call you back. But from the sound of him, I'm not sure what's going on with him.
But yeah, before we move on, I just wanted to throw that in there. We're talking about 11:35 p.m. It's not like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We're talking about 11:35 p.m. And for any married man, I would think, that's kind of a little late to be trying to leave the house anyway. But that's everybody different on that too. So
Nah, man. You probably just have to tell him so that he can understand. Because if somebody called me at that time of night, you know, first thing your wife's thinking, well, who is this calling you? And now you got all other problems that come along with that. So he ought to know not to do nothing like that. And he married. Um, so I don't know, but McWade say for real boys gotta respect boundaries. It's not all about them anymore. Gotta take care of the fam first, then the homies. I think that's well put.
man, I
I think
wholeheartedly
that
agree,
said all
McWade.
right there, Al.
Yeah, that's it. That's enough. That kills
Yeah,
that stuff.
that's it right there. That's it.
Yeah,
So,
dang, cool, man.
anything you got, Dub, on what's on your mind, or we can
No,
move
no,
on.
not really. I'm just, still kind of, you seeing all these stories still about, black men being, killed at the hands of police, and just get to a point to when, like, man, when are we gonna ever get any ease up with this? Why is it continuing to happen to us over and over and over? And so that's just the thing on my mind. I don't know if it's a question that can be answered, but it's like, damn, again, another. I think two men, or the one guy out there in Louisiana or whatever, that they released the video cam on how the officer was bragging about how he beat his ass or whatnot, and he was bleeding, and then the man ended up dying. It's like, why? And then they got the guy here in Houston who was who they found in his cell dead after abuse apparently from the cops. It's like at
Recently?
a point in time, yeah, it was recently. I don't
Wow.
know exactly which day, but it was recently here in Houston though.
Okay. I mean, bro, it's uh I think unless we can try to come together, until then it's gonna just keep happening over and over again. You saw where the Asian community had some what you call it? They call it like because of the coronavirus, were was bullying them or something like that, and being prejudiced against them because the virus coming from China, and you said it just took a handful of incidents, and they already got some bills passed through Congress to help them out. So, and look how long we've been dealing with this stuff, and it's we can't get anything.
No, they got that
I
done
don't know.
they got that done in a matter of a couple of months. Where you get a whole bill passed about that to protect them, and yet we still struggling.
Still struggling. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Uh, so yeah, man. Al, you got anything on that, or we can move on?
Nah, we can keep it rolling.
All right, you are listening to the Sip Slow podcast. So, is it ever a good time or acceptable for you to talk to your friend's ex-spouse, Al G?
Hell to the no, man. Like that should be. I mean, I know they say bro code and all that other stuff. That should be. Man, they should put. Now I ain't gonna say that for. I say one of the 10 Commandments. You can't go that far with it, but it should be really serious, bro. Because you can't do none of that. Before we jump in, I'm just gonna say, nah, you can't ever do that. I'm talking about ever.
Yeah, that's a first. I don't know if that's gonna roll. And I'm gonna answer as well the same way like you, Al. It ain't gonna work.
I agree, 100%. Different type of person if you can go talk to your ex's spouse. You know what I'm saying? Different type of person. So they have to been checking them out all along. What you think?
Yeah, and that's the messed up part about it. It's like, man, we knew what the deal was, and then you're gonna turn around and go. And it's one thing to talk to him, but it's another thing to try to get married. That ain't gonna roll, man. Because how do you justify that?
I mean, you can't justify it. I mean, it seems as though you've been one. Well, whatever that situation, that person been one their friend's spouse the whole time. So they've been watching them. They've been probably envious of them, and taking notes what to do, the good. what not to do, the bad. And yeah, that just ain't cool, man. That's a snake. You got all these different men or different women, whatever the case may be, out here that you can go and build with, but you decide to go with your homie spouse like that. Yeah, that for one, you ain't a true friend. Let's just start there. You ain't a true friend to begin with. So you don't love yourself. You probably don't love that spouse. You just out for yourself. You're selfish. So yeah, that's just dirty, man. That's the lowest of low.
Kind of sound like that Derek Fisher, Matt Barnes thing. I mean, I don't know if they were necessarily friends, but teammates. You got some close bond and relationship right there, and we see what happened with that. So I mean, I think if you were to, or anybody that does talk to somebody's ex, I mean, they wrong, and the ex is wrong as well to be talking to a person's friend like that. In my book.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to question, is that even your friend? When something like that go down. I just couldn't see it, but you got some people out here that man, they dogs, for a better word. They just dogs, man, and they'll pounce on anything that give them a chance to pounce. So I just couldn't see it, man. I couldn't see dealing with Al's wife or something like that, and I
It's a
me, but I'm
respect thing.
maybe right. And some of these guys just built from a different cloth, man. And then to marry, shit.
Yeah.
I can't say how you can do it.
I mean, you clearly can't be friends with that person anymore if that's the case. Because that's way too much and way. I mean, I couldn't see myself going hang out.
I would think that might would cause an altercation.
Oh, it's most definitely gonna be altercation.
Yeah, because even if you don't want that lady, just our GP, our general principle, you being disrespectful. I mean, there got to be some type of some type of combat, something, man.
Well, see, my thing would be, your first thought, you're hurt, and men when they hurt, they result in anger, right? So I might want to go touch him, you know what I mean? I might want to go check his temperature. But when you think about it, you really can't be that mad at him, because if that shit went down to where she finna marry him, dude, that's been going on for a long time. This ain't some shit that just started. It ain't some shit she just, he just shot at her and she was like, what's good? No, they've been doing this behind your back a long time. So why go touch that man or do something to him and be locked up, and then they happily ever after while you locked up? Feel me?
Have any of y'all ever had something like that happen to you, or you happen to one of y'all friends or boys?
I've had a chick, go and talk to a first cousin of mine that I really wasn't close to, and I thought that was some whole shit on her part, but to be hoes, you feel me?
Now, was it somebody you was dealing with on that level? Y'all was were y'all intimate?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crossing our lines, dude.
But I didn't check kinfolk, and even though that's my first cousin, but we don't kick it like that. But I ain't have no ill will towards him, but hey, it is what it is.
Dang, yeah,
like
I
Chris
think
Brown
that.
said, man, these hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah, I think that's just one of those issues, man. I think most of us, we probably agree that that's not the way to go. and it's not okay. And I hope a lot of people really take that in perspective and know that that's not okay. Don't do that.
All right, man. You are listening to the Sip Slow podcast. So, fellas, man, would you buy a vaccination card? I put that in the chat, so I'll touch on it. Yeah, I buy me a fake vaccination card, man, because for the simple fact that it seems like even though right now, it's like a mandatory thing, but I think once everybody started back opening up, I think they're gonna want to see that you're vaccinated to do certain things. And if I could get away with a fake card, yeah, I get one.
I mean, I think I at first I was like, nah, I wouldn't do it. It really wouldn't make any sense. But I think, like you saying, with certain things that's gonna transpire how when they open back up, I think some of it is gonna be needed. And whether it's traveling, whether it's getting into games or stores, I don't know. And even sometimes your job, I know we talked about a situation where, a company is having some issues with employees not doing it, and they're taking some legal ramifications with it. Will it stand? I don't know. But at the same time, um, if I can head it off, and maybe if I spend that $150 or however much they charging for it to have me a fake one on hand, I may just have to fake it till I make it. And so my thoughts changed, and yes, I would get one if needed be.
Y'all make some great points on that. The only thing is on that fake card thing, I would hope it's something that, you know what I mean, that's legit in the sense of why you don't get caught, because now you're in worse trouble now if you get in that type of situation. That would be my thing on that. I understand y'all points. I mean, if it's legit and it's gonna work, then why not? But other than that, you back at square one.
Even with the car, let's just say even the vaccination altogether, we all know that having the vaccination doesn't stop you from getting COVID. It helps prevent certain, I guess, the seriousness of it, but it doesn't stop you from getting COVID. And so my thing is, I just find it really hard for places to really put that much emphasis on, you must have a vaccination in order to do this, in order to participate here, in order to go here. That's you. I just find it kind of odd that they put that type of would they put that type of pressure on people to do. That's life. That's what we got to deal with. Apparently, uh, the health and safety is always going to be looked at first, and so I'm pretty sure that's why places are pushing it. But um, I'd give me one of them cards.
Hey, Mac Wade, you make a great point on it. That's kind of where I'm coming from on that end. I'm not dying to just go get the vaccine, but I understand what they're saying about getting a fake card. My thing is what Mac Wade is talking about there. You better make sure it's in the system and not just the card, because now you up shit creek if they find out some shit like that. Especially, let's say you traveling, right? The craziest thing, you travel somewhere, another country. So it worked that way, but coming back in, they like, oh no, this is not legit. We pull up the system, we don't have your name in the system. Then what you do now?
That's true. Uh, I mean, it's a fine line. I think as long as my day to day activity isn't being hindered by either having or not having the vaccine, I think that's what I would probably weigh the most. But yeah, I guess you're right. It does have to be put in or show some kind of way, but I mean, how are they doing that? Is it a barcode on it or something that you scan? I hadn't even seen one.
See, we can't hear you, man.
T, you on mute.
I don't know exactly how that works with the card. I thought it was just where, you get your card whenever you get your test and they stamp it. Like you had your first shot and then you get your second, when you get your second shot if you taking that particular vaccine. But as far as a barcode or something like that, I don't know. But I'm sure if they don't have it, they will come with something, a little more concrete. You know what I mean? Somewhere they can really check it out.
Right, and
So
that's the thing. So we don't know that right now, but like you say, if it's not already in place, you're definitely right. It's going to be set up to where they're going to be able to track it. It ain't going to be just that easy. I doubt it.
Well, yeah, if they start really
uh,
putting these implications behind it, it's gonna have to be tracked somehow. And I just hadn't
I
seen a
I
barcode or
wanted
nothing on it.
I wanted to throw this. Uh, Somebody had put on Facebook. I was trying to find it, but I think I remember the gist of it. It was to where, okay, if you want to get a fake vaccination card, how can you be mad with the say the Mexicans trying to come over here illegally? Um, because I'm guessing what they're trying to say is if you getting a fake card, then you trying to go and do things illegally, just like somebody trying to come in the U.S. illegal. What's y'all thoughts on that? Do you see a correlation?
I don't see a correlation in it. I see look like where they're trying to go with it, and it looks like it's just to highlight the fact that it's illegal to do, and it shouldn't work one way, but then doesn't work another way. But I don't think you can compare citizenship to um, a vaccine that we as people have a choice whether we want to take it or not. And I'll listen to see what y'all thoughts are on that.
No, that's a great point, Dub. I really can't say more to that. That you pretty much said it all for me. I agree with you on that one. You can't really compare them in that sense. That's two totally different things.
Yeah, I agree. I think you summed it up pretty good there, Doug. You are listening to the Sip Slow podcast, uh, um, and we see that Governor Abbott of Texas is planning to stop the extra $300 a month for the unemployment assistance. I think this is supposed to take place in middle of late to middle. So I thought, it's always some bad people that ruin the situation. Um, I feel like some people do need help, and that extra $300 it's been a blessing. It went from what 600 to 400. Now it's at 300 extra on top of whatever you getting for unemployment. So I think that was a blessing. But then you have where people probably do not want to even go back to work, and then that causes a problem. So I always, the government, they just not going to help you forever, especially in this type of situation. So it seems like he's the only one I've seen that's trying to stop it. But I shit, man. It's tough. I don't know who. I guess the bill of the state pay that out, or does it come from the federal government? But
I don't know. It was
it's a
some
tough
kind of
situation,
fund.
man.
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of money being put out, regardless. But I agree and believe that that extra does come in handy for some people. Uh, and then some people just don't look at it as like, okay, this is an extra $300. They just look at it as like, oh, I got some more money to spend on this or that. And I'm not saying that for everybody. And again, those one who are on unemployment, and I do feel for you because it's not a lot of work out there, and then they'll holler about us a lot of jobs and a lot of things, but those jobs don't fit with everybody who's on unemployment. And so those people are struggling. I know a guy right now that I was helping look for a job. His unemployment ran out. He's extremely qualified in a line of a work that he can do, but he can't get a job. And it's tough though. Now not only his the 300 ran out, but his unemployment is running out, and he's got 2 kids, a wife, home. It boiled down to the point like, what do you do? And so I wish that it hadn't have ended, because it's being a savior for some people, that extra help, and then some people that are abusing it is just, it makes it a bad situation. I just hate in the end that people still gonna suffer, and it's gonna back people in the corners you know, that could potentially do stuff that they don't want to make ends meet and or, take care of their family. And this country is supposedly too rich for that, to be having these type of situations. And then, if certain jobs aren't paying any more money than what you can make on your unemployment, people not gonna go back to work. You got to start raising some of the income in a lot of jobs and different things. So in the end, and I don't want to get too far away from that, but the $300 extra was helping, some people, and then those that it wasn't, it sucks that they would abuse it. But I hate its ending, and but it's just one of those things we got to live with and deal with. Hopefully, people did the best they could with those extra monies when they were getting them.
Yeah, not too much I can add to that, Dub. You got both sides where some people just, abusing it where others really need it. So yeah, I'm with you. I would hope that it wouldn't end, but like you said, just one of those things we just have to deal with. It's unfortunate for those that actually needed it, because I agree, it's a lot of jobs out there, but they're not hiring. So what good is a job if they're not doing any hiring? Some of them have a freeze on hiring. Some of them, they postponed it to, kind of like in my job, they may postpone it to February of next year. So some people ain't got enough money to live for another almost year, So yeah, it's kind of rough, but it's kind of one of those things. It just is what it is. But no, I'm against it ending. I'll say that. I'm against it.
Especially with nothing in place to kind of help it, or people to kind of fall back on. Maybe if it's a different program they can go into, I can see that. But you just kind of chopping people's head off essentially, and nothing there for them to do. But some suffer, and then that's what we don't want.
Yeah, you you just can't you can't please everyone in every situation. You know, and it's sad that that's how it is, but that's just how life is. I don't know what you think is something that could be in place to help those people out.
I think so. I mean, I think if you had something where, if somebody was pursuing something to enhance their skills, or they trying to educate themselves more, if there was some program set aside, maybe they can get, an extra, I don't know. Let's just say you keep it at $300 a month if you're doing something to better yourself, or improve. Not those that just want to sit and just collect that money, because you want, again, it's as harsh as it may sound, as long as you can open your eyes, you have to make some efforts to try to do and be better. You should want to at least make some efforts to do and be better. And whether you get in the job or not, maybe I can position myself, or maybe I can learn something else, a skill that maybe I can go and start a business, or I see a need and I can address that. I mean, it's more mindset, but you'd hope that maybe there was a program or something in place like that. Or if you're applying, I mean, I don't know. It's not up to me to think about a program, but if I was to look at it, especially with the dealing with unemployment, if you're doing something to continue to educate yourself or have something in place where you're learning, then you should still be eligible for something.
I actually think that makes sense what you said, because but it's just never going to be a perfect, situation. When you give people, like we said, you give people money, and they getting more money than they was gonna get on unemployment. Well, of course, the average person is not gonna want to go back to work. Shit, I wouldn't either. I probably chill and milk it as long as I could, But then you do have people that maybe are looking for a job and can't find a job. Like Al said, people are putting freezes on jobs, and then they need the 300, but they're gonna lose it. So it's a tough way. It's just tough, man. It's tough, and I feel for the people that's really trying to do what's right. Because a lot of times it seems like the people that do what's right always get the short end of the stick. So you all listening to the Sip Slow podcast. We're gonna stay in Texas again, man. Government passed a law in Texas to where, as long as you don't have a criminal record and you're 21 years of age, you can carry a gun without a concealed handgun license. Al, what you think about that?
Man, before we dive in, I'm gonna say that's a bad move, by passing that law, because welcome to the Wild Wild West. We'll start there. Go ahead, Doug.
Man, I think you're right. I think this just approves those. It just approves people to go ahead and start doing what they've been wanting to do, And I mean, people may not shoot, but you just run a fear sometimes of folks walking around with a gun or weapon exposed, and for what? Is it just for the power? But I don't think that they should have passed that and make it that open for just anybody to be able to do that.
I don't see nothing wrong with it, because it's been a more of a fact that when you have people with guns, it cut down violence. You're gonna think again before you decide to, mess with a person, because they could have a gun legally. So I don't necessarily just see nothing wrong with it, because you got people packing guns now, whether they got license or not.
I mean, I understand that, T, but then you got, like you say, 21 years old? That's what it is?
Yeah.
But now if you're a 21-year-old and you don't have a license, and you just, you're still in Texas. I mean, really, Texas is kind of lenient on guns anyway, but this has just gone too far. Now, that just pretty much give you almost license to kill, in my opinion. I mean, because now it don't take much for a person to pull a gun now. I mean, road rage. Just think about all the road rage incidents we're having right now. Now you got pretty much everybody with guns now. So it's like, it's not bad for everyone that's, regular, normal, law-abiding citizens. Not them. It's the wannabe thugs. It's the wannabe tough guys. It's the ones that really can't fight. Trigger happy. Let's just call it what it is. So the minute they feel a certain way, they ready to pull a gun anyway. But now they can walk around with it pretty much like it's the Wild Wild West. I just think the crime rate gonna increase. I think it's just gonna be more drama, more road rage incidents. Believe it or not, the cops got to be on standby more so now. So if you already was worried about cops, profiling a black man, whatever you want to call it, well, just imagine now when he assumes that 9 times out of 10, this black man now has a gun. What do you think about that, T?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Okay, so can y'all hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first part you made, you have these, you know, gangsters or whatever, youngsters, they already trigger happy. So, and that's without this law passed, right? So I don't think that's just gonna change anything. That's just how they operate. But at least the person that um they might be coming after has an opportunity to have a gun now without having a law. You see what I'm saying? To where they can protect themselves. You
So
don't have a gun.
is everything gonna turn into self-defense now?
Now that part, I don't know. Don't Texas have like a stand your ground law? I know.
I
I
mean, but
don't know.
who's to say? Who's to say? In a sense, somebody have a shootout and the other person is killed. Now we got this. Everybody can legally have a gun or carry a gun. Everybody gonna be hollering about it was self-defense.
Hey, that's a
I
that's a
mean,
great point,
that's
Mac
true.
Wade. Go ahead, T.
No, that's true. And the other part you brought up was a great point, Al. And just like what Mac Wade is saying, so Mac Wade said, I feel like black men walking around with a gun on the hip would be considered a threat. Just another reason for them to shoot us. I'm not gonna lie, I have my LT. I would never walk with it not concealed. Uh, and that go back to your point, Al. Like, and I didn't even think of that. That would probably put more pressure on us from the police. So I agree with that. I agree. It is good one point, but that might make it worse for us, on the cop level. So I can see that. Great point, Al and Wade.
Well, T, you also made a great point for as the innocent bystanders, if you will. If they're able to, get access to guns, because a lot of them probably wanted guns. They probably just didn't want to go through the whole process, or they may think it's too lengthy or it's too expensive to where now they don't have to do that. So you're right. So maybe more innocent bystanders would have guns to protect themselves and their families. I get that. So that's a great point as well. You got to look at that side too.
Right. Right. But man, it like Dove say about the self defense, and then you have where the laws they already out here wilding, so uh, that just might give them more to justify the bullshit they like to pull. Also, man, like I was saying, I don't have a gun, and I know you can buy a gun without having a license, but I don't think you can just be carrying it like that, or how that go? How you have it in your car but not loaded or something, or something like that.
Well,
So
now you obviously will be able to.
right. So you know, it would cut out the middleman. So people out here doing these courses to learn how to, get your license, I guess it could cut them out, huh? If you don't need a license,
Yeah,
it cut their
that's another
business out.
thing
So
that they can really shut some of them businesses down. But I wanted to make a point real quick, kind of what Mac Wade was saying. He has his license to carry, and he still say with all this going down, he gonna still keep it concealed. Well, that's the thing. I agree with him because it's a little different when you don't have it concealed. Now, if I met Mac Wade for the first time, don't know anything about this man, and we're talking and he have it concealed, we probably can have a good conversation, no problem, no issues. But if I never met this man before and he walk him down the road with a gun on his hip, he might be the best individual out there, but I'm gonna look at him a little different. So that it brings that negative energy. So now I'm looking at him some kind of way. So now I'm strapped and ready because he got his, I got mine. Now something that could have been a normal conversation that say we had some words, we could have talked out like gentlemen. But now that he got his gun showing and I got my gun showing, ain't too much talking, man. Ain't too much talking.
No matter how you look at it, it turns into threatening or an uncomfortable feeling if you look at it. Because I agree with Al. Unless I just know you and you have it on your hip, I can at least be a little bit more comfortable to talk. If I don't know you and you coming up to me talking to me and you got a gun just hanging off of your hip because the law now allows you to, I mean, I'm not gonna just be inclined to want to hang out. I mean, not hang out, but be there and have a true conversation with you. Because I'm gonna be like, well, why do you need that out and open like that? And what if you with your family going somewhere?
I've seen, like you go in Buc-ee's and you'll see some of those people with their gun and they host on their side. Uh, and it's kind of weird, but you probably will think twice of running up on that person.
Without a doubt.
Which I think.
No, you got a great point. It sometimes can, like Dub say, can make it can be definitely intimidating, if you will. And like T saying, probably somebody you would probably want to say a little something slick to. Normally, you see that pistol on his side, respect. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna just come up on him talking in any kind of way. You're gonna have to respect, right? And that's the deal. And that's the deal with the license to carry. They teach you all these type things. They teach you, how to remain calm, and they teach you the law to where you can't have guns at certain places. Like I work at a hospital. I can't think of what the number. I think it's 30 and 31. I can't think of the actual law. But at places like that, you can't carry them. Even if you got a concealed handgun license, you can't come in there with the gun like that. So you'll see the little signs. Most of them got signs posted with a gun with a red circle around it with a line through it saying no handguns allowed on this property. So they're not permitted. So it's things like that the license carry classes teach you that a lot of us need to be educated on anyway. All we think you just get the gun and shoot. There's a lot more to it than that. Right. So yeah, on the education side of not being intimidated, it's a lot of things to where this law that was passed is not what's up, man. I just think it's gonna be a bad move, and hopefully they'll see it and make it a change quick, because I don't think it's gonna end well.
Yeah, it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. Overall.
I respect that. I mean, anyone who listening, or you hear this on whether you catch it on YouTube or we on Facebook Live right now too. If you catch it on Spotify or any other platform, and when we get to shouting out people and reading their comments, that's because they are commenting with us live and listening. So, if you listen to the replay, we encourage you to check us out. Every Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. Check us out and interact with us, because Wade and Teresa have interacted today, and it's elevated the conversation. So we appreciate that and appreciate them for listening. You are listening to the Sip Slow podcast, man. This Kwame Brown situation, I guess it won't go away. Kwame Brown was the ex first round draft pick. I want to say in what about 2000, 2001. Uh, First high school player to go number one overall, and his career just wasn't what you expect the number one overall players to be. He got drafted by the Wizards, and he's been a joke for a while. People saying he's a bust and this or that. So uh, you had this podcast, All the Smoke, and they with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, and they had invited Gilbert Arenas, who used to play with Kwame Brown, and I guess some words were said, and they was talking down on Kwame that he was a bust, and the man, after 20 years, he finally came back and spoke up for himself. So man, there's been a lot of back and forth. So what you think about this, Doug?
Man, I think he has every right to do that. I mean, he done sat quiet, and his name has circulated some way or another over that the 20-year period. I know he didn't pan out to be what he was supposed to be, but he and so many other people that were just like it, whether he came out of high school or just a first round pick that ain't panned out. But I mean, after a while, a man can only take so much. And then when you hear it and you never know what type of mood he was in or had been in, and then he hears something and it triggers, and he looked like he just like, you know what, I'm gonna go and give everybody everything that's on my mind, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. I don't think he's doing it illogically. I mean, I think he has some real valid points in what he's bringing up, and he's only going after and addressing certain, I guess, certain people. And so it's not like he's making a blanket, uh, attack on people just because what they've said about him. I think he's going after what is really, I guess, touched him the most. So I mean, I don't think he's wrong. I mean, he can free his speech. He can say whatever he want, but you can only attack me so long.
Yeah, I would have to agree, Dub. I mean, 20 years of people just clowning you and dragging your name through the mud. I mean, you got to understand, and he said it himself. He's still a man, and as a man, we don't like to be disrespected. So for him to be quiet for 20 years, salute to him. I commend him. But it's just certain things you can't just say. Now to say he was one of the greatest players ever, no, but I wouldn't say he's a bust. I want to say the dude had a successful career in the sense of he lasted maybe 8 to 10 years.
13.
Okay, see, I'm shortchanging him. So 13. So I can't call that a buzz. The dude made his money,
70 million.
So how am I gonna call somebody that's making $70 million? He made 70 million and he was in the league for 13 years. Who am I to call him a buzz? If that's a buzz, let me be a buzz.
He made more than Steven Jackson. He made more than Matt Barnes.
Wow.
And they had what you consider successful careers. They didn't have any contracts like that.
Well, I listened to a couple of his videos, maybe three. Some of it he's getting a little saying the same stuff over and over. But one thing that I really felt it first and foremost, the brother is very articulate. I was shocked.
He hood, but he's speaking,
and he can really speak good, and he has some intelligence. So I mean maybe I stereotyped him too, but yeah, he's a lot of intelligence. And so that's one thing I took from what he was saying. So I didn't see it to where he was just out here ranting and just saying some shit just to make a YouTube video. No, he really came with some facts. And the thing that I really liked and felt him on was that they always are going to have black men on TV bashing other black men. I thought he was right on with what he said right there. So um, you got you even had was Charlemagne the God jumped into the mix, and he started putting Kwame Brown's family members passed all out, on national radio, and that stuff is just wrong. And you have a guy Kwame Brown who seems to be a strong black man who's not bought and paid off by the media people. He doesn't have to answer to nobody, and he just giving it to them straight up like somebody would on the street. And I don't know why they brought this man name up, but I'm quite sure that they hate they bought him. You know what I'm saying? So I think the brother should get a opportunity to have him a little show or something, because he speak with great knowledge and I like hearing him. So shout out to Kwame Brown, man, and stay on their neck,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the disrespect just it doesn't make sense. And like I said, he spoke on things that they was gonna do for us, uh, try to talk about him. He say then next, they'll go to your family, then they'll try to have a woman go bring a woman out to talk down on you, and I guess his closet is pretty good. And I forgot that's Stephen A. Smith. He a whole ass nigga, man. Did y'all see what he pulled the other
When he
day on his
pulled
show?
that, when he did the video
You
of
know,
all his plays.
yeah, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I, it doesn't
It's
make
just
sense, and that's what Kwame said is they
to
want
me
to
it's petty.
tear. They only have those. It's petty, and they want to tear down. They want to have black men tear other black men down, and where everything Kwame's saying is playing out. Just like a book. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna get off of it.
Yeah, he's straight shooting. But if y'all want some good entertainment, definitely go check out his video.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's on YouTube. Is Kwame Brown Bus Life. That's the name of his YouTube page. So yeah, check him out, man. He's speaking some real stuff over there. You done? You got anything else on that, Al?
Nah, I think y'all kind of pretty much touched on everything. He's speaking the truth, but like you say, a lot of it he kind of repeating himself. So I can't watch too many of them. The same thing over and over again. It's like, all right, I got you. I heard you the first 10
Right,
times. So yeah.
for
But we can
sure,
keep moving.
for sure. So you are listening to the Sip So podcast. So fellas, man, what's y'all thoughts on the NBA playoff tournament, and then since the playoffs have gotten started, what's y'all thoughts? How's it been? How's it been going to y'all?
Some games have been surprising to me. I didn't expect you know, Milwaukee to be jumping on whatchamacallit the way they have. I thought the games would be a little bit what is it, Miami? They play in Miami. I thought it would be a little bit
They
closer.
swept them.
Yeah. So I was a little shocked and surprised by that one. I think thus far the biggest thing that we've seen with the basketball is the disrespect that's happening to the players. I think that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
overtaking a lot of the games right now, and the popcorn throwing, the spitting. That's
Right.
probably the biggest thing that I guess it happens all the time, but it seemed like that's kind of overshadowed everything now with the playoff games, which it isn't right. I mean, the players just have as much respect to the fans as the fans should have to the players, and certain things just it's out of line or it's not needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the play-in tournament, I think that was different, but I kind of liked it, man. Kind of gave more teams a chance to kind of get in there and see what they can do. But I think we all agree the most surprising thing was Miami Heat being swept. You go to the NBA Finals last year, and then the next year you get swept in the first round. That don't sit right. But then you got a superstar, Jimmy Butler, that hadn't showed me nothing, and I've always seen that dude as being a dog. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just like he wasn't really into it. Like he wouldn't. I don't know, man. Nothing from not to take from Milwaukee. I mean, they're a great team, but come on, man, being swept. But other than that, man, it is what it is. It's the playoffs, so that's the only thing that I didn't care too much for. I like to see competition. I don't like to see no swept, so I ain't like that too much.
Well, as far as that play-in tournament, man, I thought it was kind of, gimmicky or something when here I am already a top 8 seed and shit, I gotta, play to get in. But then once I saw it, I thought it was all right because they didn't play the full 82 game season. They played 72 and then the play in. So it did give a little more excitement. Um, I don't think I'd be mad with seeing it go forward, but it did have the Lakers and Warriors in it, so that might have made it a little more interesting. Also maybe if it was some just teams you didn't even care about, you might not would even checked it out. But for the most part, I thought it was straight. And then the playoffs so far, I was thinking about like Denver, man. If they had Jamal Murray, that'd be a tough out. With all it, with them adding what's that dude, Aaron, to play for the
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon.
to play yeah, Aaron Gordon. Man, I think that'd be a tough out if they was fully healthy. But like y'all both said, with Miami, I don't know. I wasn't expecting a sweep. At least 4-2 or 4-3, but
they supposed to at least
I
get
don't
1 or 2
know.
games. Yeah,
But
that was kind
Yeah,
of embarrassing.
it wasn't just a sweep.
yeah,
It was the points too. They were getting blown away. It wasn't like,
Yeah,
some down to the wire and they
yeah,
lost about 3 or something. It wasn't exciting, dog. You turn it off at halftime. It's like, this is bull.
yeah. You'd think it
yeah.
would be a better fight than what they gave.
Right.
So
Also, uh, me and my parents was watching the Suns first game last Sunday, Suns versus the Lakers, and my mama was like, "Well, these guys leave Houston and go to other places, and they play good ball." And I say, Chris Paul, he played good ball for the Rockets. He just, got hurt at the wrong times. And shit, I guess 20 minutes after I said that, here you go. He getting hurt again with the shoulder, and they did hold on to that game and win it, but I don't think they'll win another game in this series. When it seems like a healthy Chris Paul is a tough out here in the last few playoffs, but man, he just keep getting hurt at the wrong time. So that's
I'm
something
starting.
that I looked at.
I'm starting to think he ain't gonna ever win one.
Nah, not unless he get with the Lakers or the Nets or
The Nets.
somebody, Milwaukee or somebody like a big time contender. So I don't see it, man. He's a great player, but you got to stay healthy, man, and he's just not doing it. But that first game, I hadn't seen many. I don't. That was my first time seeing the Suns play, and man, they nice little young team.
Oh, they nice.
Nice little So hate
I
that he
mean,
got hurt,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, they definitely giving Lakers all they can handle.
Like you
Right.
said, a healthy Chris Paul makes a huge difference here. but it's seen it again with when he was with the Rockets. That healthy Paul, it makes the game different. And so right now, yeah, you're right. I think it's, like Uncle Shay say, it's over in 5.
Right.
It's over. So
hey, one last thing, fellas, I want to ask y'all opinion on, because I was a little shocked by how the Clippers played the Mavs as well. They lost 2 straight games at home, and they have Paul George. We'll just say those two, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I mean, how is that possible? What's y'all thoughts on that?
the team itself or how they playing?
I think you can't blame the coach because they pulled the same stuff last year with Doc Rivers. So I would think it has to be
Great point.
leadership. It has to be leadership on Kawhi because you was brought in to be the man, and you're not living up to being that superstar on the level of LeBron and some of these other guys. So I always thought he should have probably at least signed one 1-year contract with the Raptors. I think they might have had a good shot at running it back. But,
great point.
Yeah, I don't think Kawhi is that person. He's not that I wouldn't say the face, or he's not that one that's gonna stand out. Because he's just playing the game, and I don't even think he in the relationship with Paul George, that chemistry rather. I don't know about relationship, but the chemistry, I don't see it being there. I think they're just kind of playing and kind of coexisting on the same team. Nobody's stepping up to be that person.
Because you basically have 2 guys playing the same position
for the most part.
And
do y'all think Kawhi maybe get superstar status but plays at an all-star level?
Man, I think he's a go ahead, Al. Go ahead. What you call a superstar?
Well, that was where I was gonna kind of go with it and see. I think he's more closer to what you're saying, Al, than not. But I don't know. As far as superstar, that's somebody like a LeBron to me. That's somebody like a James Harden, a Kevin Durant, Kyrie. That somebody that ain't gonna mind taking over. I mean, you can laugh all you want, but
Kyrie.
Do you think Kyrie would have any issue being Kyrie any team he went to?
Kyrie ain't a winner, so I gotta go. I would put Kawhi,
I wouldn't say
him.
winner. I mean, he's won what, 2 less than what Kawhi has. I'm not talking about winning. I mean, I'm just thinking about who can fit in any setting. Like if you put them on any team and they gonna still be themselves, who they are and how they play. That's what I look at when I'm thinking of a superstar. Kawhi is not. I think Kawhi, he hasn't been the same since he was with the Spurs.
Wow.
I'll let you get on it, Al. I don't.
No, he can make some great points, but the only thing I would disagree on that part, I think he fell off, maybe when he went to the Clippers, because I think he was superstar status in Toronto. And I think if he would have ran it back, as T said earlier, they might have had a shot at running that mug back, and winning it again. But that's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think to me when I see Kawhi play with the Clippers, he don't have that same explosiveness. I don't know if he's hurt or what's going on with him, but he look a tad bit, a step slow than what he used to. So, but I would think, this guy went to the Raptors, man, and elevated him to a championship. I don't see Kyrie Irving going anywhere doing nothing like that. So that's to me what you would call a superstar. So and he done it with 2 different teams. So you got to respect that.
So you're saying that just because he won a championship on 2 different teams, he's superstar status?
Not only championship, he's Finals MVP. and he's a defensive player of the year because I can go put Devin Book on a team and he gonna go get buckets. But is that gonna lead to me getting to the playoffs or winning something? Because the argument y'all always have told me is that it's all about winning. That's what y'all told me. Right or wrong. Y'all said all
That's
that other shit don't mean nothing. We gotta win.
that's
So we
for
going by that criteria. That man's a winner. Talk to
so,
me.
so what's the difference between him leaving Toronto after that superstar caliber of a year and coming to the Clippers and still not showing up the way he just did? Because wouldn't he still be able to do the same thing if he's a winner and he's had that superstar status level he could carry?
Yeah,
Or was he injured?
things just ain't going. Things just ain't going their way. You ain't gonna win them all. So
You just saying basically he was
But
on the wrong side. He was up there with LeBron.
he was what?
I mean, I think they beat LeBron for one of them, right? So I'm not saying that. It's just for whatever reason, the Clippers might have been the bad move for him. So I don't know if it's being back at home or the way the roster's set up. You would think they have a great shot with the people they have, but for some reason, I don't know if it's Paul George, but it's just not
Chemistry.
it's just not going right. Yeah, because he had less in Toronto, but he had some nice role players around him, and they won it. So I don't know.
Mm,
I mean, we can't count him out
I
yet. I
don't.
mean, he's still in the playoffs, but it just ain't he ain't looking like the Kawhi we know. But he still got a little left in the tank. I guess we'll see how it all play out.
I hope
I
they get
don't know.
beat. I hope Dallas beat them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he's a great player. Let's give him that. He has won, a lot of accolades and a lot of the MVP of defense and he's won the title, but I wouldn't say superstar. I wouldn't give him that. And I'm a fan of Kawhi.
Would you take him back?
Would I take him back in San Antonio?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't take him back. It's the way he left.
I got you.
Okay, so this before we leave and go to something else, so that you have a little personal vendetta to him how he left your team. Is that what this is about?
Yeah, I think he could have just, been so the caliber of player he was. He could have just came out and say, you know what, I think I'd want like how Anthony Davis did. Just trade me. He could have done that. He had the talent. He had the he had proven himself. Why wouldn't he just do that?
You'd have respected that more. What did he do? What, he's kind of set out? He was hurt?
He claimed he was hurt for like long periods of time. And if he was hurt, don't try to come back and play a game or two and then, then stop. Yeah, don't do it. I mean, be a man about it. Like, look, I want out. I think my time here is up. I want out.
Yeah, he played the Spurs. He did play them, though. He played them.
I got you. Well, man, we come to that time, man. Shit, Doug, man, what did you learn today?
Man, I learned that I guess everything's about winning. You can't be no superstar unless you win.
Yeah, yeah, that's what y'all told me. So I'm just playing by the same rules. But I learned today that maybe that having the gun law at 21 with license, maybe that's not the best thing to do in the state of Texas.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna say I learned that Thomas feel that having this law is a good thing, but since you say that, what can I say? I
It's
learned
good or bad, man. You can learn that.
Okay, I learned that. I learned that Thomas felt like this is a good move by having this law.
Yeah, I mean, I think we brought out good and bad, points
It
about
makes
it.
sense,
So,
right? Without a doubt.
yeah, yeah. So, man, we thank everyone for tuning in. As always, man, we on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube. And please subscribe to the YouTube page. And I know we took off last week and kind of been every other week, but we're gonna try to get back in that groove, man, and keep putting out good content. So always great to talk to the fellas again. Uh, appreciate it, and another good conversation. We just building with one another. And I always shout out to the listeners and anyone that supports Sipso Podcast. Anthony Dub Al.
Oh man, I hope everybody have a wonderful Memorial Day. Get a chance to relax, hopefully, and enjoy.
Yeah, pretty much same here, man. Everybody enjoy the Memorial Day. For those that have to work, ain't nothing wrong with it. When you get off, you still can sip a little something. But for those that's at home with the families, sip and drink responsibly, and enjoy y'all Memorial Day weekend.
Man, already. I'm out tomorrow, so it's all good, man. Uh, man, as always, y'all could have been anywhere in the world, man, but y'all are here with us, and we appreciate that. We gonna sip slow and we gonna live fast.